today to spend a little time with you, our common thread, kids. See, we've been spending all this time with the adults, and they've gotten to have their video chats and their conference calls, and you guys have kind of been a little bit neglected, a little left alone by yourselves maybe. Do you ever feel a little bit sad, like maybe you're missing out on something because you're stuck at home right now? I think we all do. And so today we wanted to spend a little time together doing a little bit of stuff just for you, because you're special and you're a huge part of God's church. So today let's talk a little bit about our emotions, the way we feel inside. Take a second and I want you to check in with yourself. Take a deep breath in. How are you feeling? Are you feeling tired? Are you a little stir crazy? Are you feeling happy or sad or angry? Maybe frustrated? All of your feelings are valid and they're totally understandable. When we have things happen to us that we can't control, sometimes that's frustrating. But for a moment, I want you to think about some of the things that make you happy. What's something that makes you happy? Maybe the beautiful weather we've been having? Have you gotten to play outside? Have you had maybe your favorite food lately? Something you like to eat? Have you been able to spend some time with your family pet? Or your mom and dad? Have you been able to play any games or make some crafts? Maybe Zoom with your school and see your friends? Today, I think we should sing a song about being happy. And we don't always feel happy, but sometimes we do. And sometimes you'll hear adults say this, you gotta fake it till you make it. So sometimes by doing things that we know can make us feel good and joyful and excited and kind of jump in and just do it, sometimes we'll start to feel better. So everybody take a deep breath for me. And we're gonna sing my version of If You're Happy and You Know It, okay? If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know it, then your face will surely show it. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know it, stomp your feet. If you're happy and you know it, stomp your feet. If you're happy and you know it, then your face will surely show it. If you're happy and you know it, stomp your feet. If you're happy, put your hands up in the air. If you're happy, jump around like you don't care. If you're happy, then lift your praises high and tell everybody why. If you're happy and you know it, say woohoo! If you're happy and you know it, say woohoo, woohoo! If you're happy and you know it, then your face will surely show it. If you're happy and you know it, say woohoo! If you're happy, put your hands up in the air. If you're happy, jump around like you don't care. If you're happy, then lift your praises high and tell everybody why. If you're happy and you know it, do all three. Clap, clap, stomp, stomp, woohoo! If you're happy and you know it, do all three. Clap, clap, stomp, stomp, woohoo! If you're happy and you know it, then your face will surely show it. If you're happy and you know it, say woohoo, woohoo! Clap, clap, stomp, stomp, woohoo! I got a little tongue twisted there, but you did a great job. So we've talked now a little bit about being happy, and I want to take a little time to talk about some of the other feelings. some of the feelings that we have don't feel so great, right? Maybe you feel frustrated or angry or sad. Have you ever felt sad? I think we all have. And when we feel sad, it could be for lots of different things. It could just be something going on with you or me, but it could also be because of circumstances, things happening around us. Maybe because you can't go to school or see your friends. Maybe it's because things that you were planning on got canceled. Maybe it's because you were told no. I don't think anybody likes to be told no, but adults can do that sometimes, and it can make us really frustrated to hear the words no. But most of the time, when adults say that, they're saying it to keep you safe. It's not because they don't want to be any fun, it's because they want to take care of you. And because they're taking care of you, they're in charge. And sometimes it's hard when other people who are in charge don't seem to understand how you're feeling. It's valid to not like no. And it's understandable that sometimes adults don't know what to do or say. And sometimes they just say no because they're not sure. And there's actually a story in the Bible where that happened. Yeah, we're going to talk a little bit about Matthew 19:14. And let me just read the scripture really quick, and then we're going to talk about it. So Jesus and his followers, they were traveling all over, and he was healing people and doing amazing things. And he was preaching. He was telling stories and telling the people about God. There were a lot of people there. Okay, so I'm going to start in verse 13, Matthew 19:13. Then people brought little children to Jesus for him to place his hands on them and pray for them. But the disciples rebuked them. Rebuked means told them to go away, didn't want them there. And then verse 14 says, Jesus said, "Let the little children come to me, and do not hinder them, for the kingdom of heaven belongs to such as these." Let's talk about that. Such as these. Who's he talking about? He's talking about you. He's talking about kids in general. See, let's imagine what this was like. There were lots of adults there, so Jesus and his followers and some of his best friends are there, and they're going all over the country, and people are excited about him because he's an awesome person. He's the only perfect person. And so as he's telling people these amazing things and telling them about heaven and what's right and what's wrong and healing the sick, those people, his best friends that are with him, are trying to take care of him and make sure that he doesn't get too tired and that people don't bother him. And so if you were following along with your family and you were listening to what Jesus said from very far away, it might be hard to hear him. You might want to get a closer look. And these kids, they just wanted to see Jesus. They heard their moms and their dads and their whole families talking about this amazing person and how cool he was, and they just wanted to see him. And so they get a little bit closer and they're excited and they want to go talk to him. But then his followers, the apostles, are there, and they tell you not to go forward. Don't go see Jesus. He's busy. And Jesus says no. And he wants you to come and sit and hang out with him. He cares about you. He wanted followers just like you. All of the Noahs and the Tommies and the Isaacs. He cares about you. Heaven is for people just like you. That's what he says. You're important. How would that make you feel? I'd feel happy. I'd feel important. You matter to Jesus. And when you're his special follower, you're playing on his team. So this past week, I want you to think about things that you have done. Things that you did that showed the world, maybe even just your family, that you're a follower of Jesus. Can you think about that for a minute? It's pretty cool. When you play on his team and you're one of his followers, everything you do can help the people around you see Jesus in you. And the way that you show that you're one of his followers and the way that you do that is going to be a little bit different than everyone else around you, because you're special and you have unique gifts, things that are special to you, just like your thumbprint. Did you know that your fingerprints are just yours and no one else's? Look at your thumb for a second. Can you see all the squiggly lines and the spirals, the shapes on there? Those are yours and no one else's. You're just like that. Nobody else looks and acts just like you. You're special. And you can use those special things for Jesus. But enough about that story. I think today I want to show you a fun craft you can do with your thumbprint. Okay guys, so we were talking about our fingerprints, our thumbprints. Remember that? Just a minute ago. Every single one of your fingers has a print that's uniquely yours. So we're going to make some art using your fingerprint. Now I like to do animals. So we're going to use our imagination and make some animal prints. Now, when I use my finger, I can use a washable marker with my parents' permission, and I can color that. There we go. Good. I'm going to use like a half print. Awesome. Let me go back and fix that. There we go. So those are some prints that I made earlier. Remember, make sure you have your parents' permission. And then, once that's dry, we can start using our imagination. Now I'm going to start up here with the yellow. Do you see that yellow thumbprint? What animal is yellow? I'm thinking of something with stripes. What animal has stripes? It's little. Sometimes they buzz and have a stinger. We're gonna make a smiley one. It's got wings. Yeah, it's a bumblebee. Got a little bit of movement. Cool, very good. Let's do another couple small animals. I'm gonna do this one right here in the middle with the blue. Those are two thumbprints next to each other. So for this one, I think it looks like wings. So let's make an animal that's a little and has wings. Can you guess what I'm drawing? It's a butterfly. I guess if you use different colors, you can make it a moth too. Let's do this little red one up in the corner. So this little red one, let's make it a bug too. A little bug. Let's give her some spots. Good. Let's do like that. It's a ladybug. Awesome. Now, I know this is still a thumbprint and it's small, but I want to do a much bigger animal. Let's just do its face. So down here, on this dark blue, almost purple, I want to do a big animal. Let's see, what's a big animal? Put the eyes there. Maybe make the ears look a little bit bigger. And then let's go down here and give it a trunk. Do you know what the animal is? It's an elephant. Now this green one that we first started with, I think he's dry. I know what I want to make. I'm gonna give him 2 eyes up at the front and a big mouth with some teeth. Let's make a crocodile. Gotta give him some legs. There we go. And you could do these anywhere. You could make a card for someone, or maybe something for Mother's Day. That's coming up soon. But what animals or creatures can you come up with using just your thumbprint? Thank you guys so much for spending a little time with me today as we talk a little bit about that story from the Bible and about you guys. You guys are so important. And before it's time to go, I thought we might finish with one more song. I asked Miss Julie and Miss Rachel for songs that you guys sometimes sing on Sunday mornings. And one that they mentioned was He's Got the Whole World in His Hands. So I thought, let's do that one. And if we were all together, I would obviously get every single verse that you guys want to sing, all the different people, but we're just going to do some general ones. We're going to do 3 today. So we're going to say the whole world in his hands, then we're going to do all the little children, that's you guys, and then all of his creation, all of God's creation. Okay? Here we go. He's got the whole world in his hands. 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 He's got all the little children in his hands. He's got all the little children in his hands. He's got all the little children in his hands. He's got the whole world in his hands. He's got all of his creation in his hands. He's got all of his creation in his hands. He's got all of his creation in his hands. He's got the whole world in his hands. Good job, guys. Remember, you are part of the church too. You are an important part of the kingdom of God, just as much as anyone else. Bye.